Oh, there you are. See, I told you you were singing. They did sing early in the morning. Yeah. Actually, I suppose that your sort of singing, it being so high and so, I don't know what the word is, actually, so sort of serious, your voice takes a long time to warm up, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And it's never very wonderful in the morning. You often find that the people in opera, they say, please, I don't want a singing lesson, or I won't sing till after 12 o'clock, because it just takes the voice a long time to warm up.
I wonder what it is physically that's happening to the vocal cords that warms up during the day and lets you sing it during the night.
It's a very delicate muscle, that the sort of vocal cords. I mean, I don't know sort of that technically about it, but all I know is that they have to be sort of very warmed up and quite open for the right amount of air to come through, and you making the right noise and reverberating against the bones, and it's quite a complicated sort of thing. But once you learn the sort of technique of singing, it's a natural thing. There's no mystique to it.
But we're just swapping notes with Krista Berg. Isn't it a fact that when you sleep, your vocal cords relax?
Yes.
And that the natural notes that you hit when you wake up are in fact the deeper notes.
Much lower.
The one that you then slip into during the course of the day.
That's right.
Am I right there, Chris? Do you think?
Yeah, yeah, quite right. But what you can do is, like, for example, I stand in the shower sometimes, and that relaxes the vocal muscles. So if you're in the shower right now at home... Well, you see, I actually sing very high and very loud, especially for a concert, you know. But this time of the morning, it's really quite hard. So, you know, if I was to do something, for example, a B flat, I wouldn't attempt it right now, because I could croak.
Yeah.
So I sort of
but in the evening, you would be able to do it?
Absolutely, because the muscles are there. As Sarah said, you know, your voice is opened up. The larynx is like any other muscle. You wouldn't go lifting heavy weights first thing in the morning if you're going to get into
What about eating? Does that affect it? I mean, would you have enormous spaghetti bolognese before you go out and sing on stage?
No, you can't do that because you need as much room to sort of expand your lungs and use all the sort of right muscles. And I find if I'm doing a performance in the evening, I have sort of a light lunch of something like spaghetti and, you know, just with some butter on, and then don't eat until the evening performance. If you eat before, I mean, you just have no room to sing, apart from the sort of tight costumes you have to wear as well. So.
But if you eat too much also, don't nerves have an adverse effect?
Yes.
You become like a washing machine in your stomach.
All sorts of unpleasant things start happening as your diaphragm starts...
Especially with the sort of microphones they have now, which are sort of against your head. They'll pick up any noise in your stomach, so...
Is that why you wear your microphone nowadays?
Yes, they have a tiny little mic that's put on the head there, and it sits on the bone, so it collects up even more noise. I mean, it's... And that goes down to sort of a little mic...
But does the wire go through your hair?
Yes, or under
so
your
it helps to have
wig
long
or whatever, yes.
Good Lord.
It's absolutely wonderful. I was actually one of the first people to try it out about, I don't know, it must have been about 3 or 4 years ago. Before that, people were using the mics here.
Yes.
And we just decided as an experiment just to put it through the hair and clip it in there. And
it can be very difficult in one of those sort of passionate plays if your microphone's there, because you suddenly go...
Yes, I know.
Sorry.
Or if you move your head that way or that way, you know.
Yeah. Actually, we know who, when it comes to songwriting, we have a fair idea who writes some of the songs that you've sung. But Chris, when you start to write your own songs, how does that process actually start? Do you start with a gentle, casual strum? With no idea in mind?
I just happen to have a guitar here in the studio.
We noticed that, actually.
So I'll sort of strum away.
And I know he's written them for you to sing.
Yes.
But has he written them for you as his wife? If you see what I mean, the difference.
He did one song that went into Phantom, but I never sang it, called Music of the Night.
Oh, yeah.
And he sang that, he wrote that for me when we first got together, and it had other lyrics to it.
Oh.
And which we sort of put in our music bank, sort of to play it.
So it started out as a private love song?
Yes, it did.
Oh, that's nice.
That's why people love it when it's on the stage, because although it's got different lyrics and it's really a sort of a male song now, it has a lot of passion in it, and
it's beautiful.
You know, it's a lovely
So when you're at
tune.
home, you've got your own words to that,
Yes,
have you?
I have.
Yeah, I suppose you'd let on what they are.
Well, one day I may do it or release it on a record or something, but not at the moment.
Not very intimate. I love you Kutchikins or...
No, nothing like that.
Fur.
Nothing like that.
Actually, I do want to ask Chris, because there's quite a story involved, isn't there, in Lady in Red, some of the lines...
Apart from the pianos all over the house, I suppose you've got, haven't you, Sarah?
Yes, we have loads of pianos.
I mean, do you
everywhere.
ever get together and sing together anymore?
Yes, we do. That happens quite a lot. You know, we can have people to to dinner or something, or a party going on, and Andrew will sometimes just sit at the piano and play something, I'll sing, or someone else will sing, and there is always music around the house, someone playing a record, or we're trying something out. It's always there.
That must be magical when it happens on the spur of the moment.
Yes.
It's totally uncalculated.
Yes, it is, and then you get a lot of fun out of it because you're not having to do it because you've got to get a show on or for a record. You're actually just, and sometimes that's when, I don't know with you whether that's when the best things
Absolutely,
come.
when you have friends round.
Yes.
Especially late at night, you know, bashing away at the piano.
But a very gentle kind of ballad approach, sometimes quite dramatic. But there's a new wave of it coming in, isn't there?
Yes.
Jostling against the brand new louder sounds as well.
Mm-hmm. There definitely is. I mean, I'm starting working on an album in about 3 weeks, and I'm bringing in tunes sort of far more like that are more folky and using far more of a tune rather than a beat that's been happening for so long. And people seem to want melody again, thank goodness.
Very much so, yeah.
Yes.
In fact, I'm just like you're on tour. I'm just about to start a major world tour, which might take a year. And I have this...
The youngsters nowadays who buy records have now at last again got a huge choice. They've got
quite right
the Papa rappers and so on.
I'm going to Nottingham, to Brighton, to Birmingham, to Croydon.
Right.
And that's all happening at the end of this month and November.
Yeah. Chris is going all around the world.
Yes, where's my book?
Mine's far more.
Where's that book?
Oh.
Wasn't it lovely?
It was lovely. Give us a free ticket.
Give me a free song.
We'll lobby for that later.
And we'll have to do a duet on the way out here because it's going to be raining.
I'm afraid this exclusive duet is going to be missed by you because we've got to take a...
Sure.
We were going to sing the weather report.
All right.
Here comes the sun.
Oh, great stuff.
Here comes the...
And Northern England and the Midlands will again, like Scotland and Northern Ireland, it's a case of sunshine in between the horrible little showers. And
Joseph and his amazing thingy and